3. Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, October 4th Board of Commissioners meeting. If you would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, we will accept public comment for items not appearing on our agenda. Is there any public comment at this time? Okay, seeing none. If there is public comment for items that are on our agenda, we will accept them as they're under consideration. Any additions to our agenda? Okay, seeing none. We will look for a motion to approve our minutes from our last meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes from September 27th.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion on the minutes? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. The motion is carried. Okay. All right, we're going to jump right into our proclamations today. We have 4 guests with us for Center County Protects Kids Month in Center County. We may have additional ones as well, but we're going to welcome up Jamie Sanfilippo, Diana McWilliams, Erin Rannells, and Stephanie Haldeman up as well. And I think, I don't know if Julia, okay. All right, so please.
It's their show.
It's their show, okay. Dawn, are you coming in? Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. Yeah.
Who's up next?
Oh, please, if you'd like to utilize the podium, that we don't have enough seats for everybody, but whatever you're comfortable with, yeah.
Well, good morning, and thank you for having us here and for your ongoing support for Domestic Violence Awareness Month and Center County Protects Kids Month in October. We are known as the Better Together collaboration. I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves, and then I'll give you a little bit of history about how we are better together and how we got together. So do you want to?
I'll go first. My name is Jamie Sanfilippo, and I'm the Director of Community Outreach for the YMCA of Center County.
And I'm Diana McWilliams. I'm the Executive Director of the Mount Nittany Children's Advocacy Center of Center County.
And I'm Erin Rannells from YSB Family Group Decision Making Director. Stephanie Haldeman, Center County Children and Youth Agency Liaison.
So about almost 3 years ago, we got together and to plan an event for April, Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And after the event, we had a follow-up meeting and we said, we're not going to stop. So we've been meeting monthly via Zoom. Now we're meeting at the Bellefonte Y, but we've been meeting monthly because we want to continue to raise awareness about domestic violence, child abuse, and sexual assault. And it's been a lot of fun, fun work, and I think we're really starting and continuing to make a difference. The theme for this month is Everyone Knows Someone, because everyone knows someone who has been experiencing domestic violence, sexual assault, or child abuse. If you think about it, or if you haven't, you probably will eventually know someone who has experienced it. Today we're having an event at Talleyrand Park. It starts at 11. Hopefully the sun will come out. And it's just going to be raising awareness about these issues and also talking about the services that are available for people in our community, because that's really the message that we want to get out to people, like where you can go if you should need support, even if you're a survivor, if you're a family member, just where you can go to get the help that you might need and the support just to talk to somebody about it. So this has been a great group. We're the Better Together collaboration because we are better together as a community. So thank you. Anybody else? Thank you. No. Okay.
Thank you so much, Dawn. So really combining these proclamations in a sense to raise awareness about both issues, but also talking about the interplay that can sometimes unfortunately occur with child abuse and also domestic violence awareness. So 3 years ago, whoever had that idea, or if it was just all light bulbs going on at once, what a impactful idea and focus. So it's really important that you're here today to talk about these, to raise awareness in the community and to keep the efforts alive in each of your organizations and focuses. You do great work. Your teammates do great work. So appreciate all you do for our community and our county. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, thank you.
Yeah, I agree, absolutely wonderful idea. The longer I'm commissioner, the more I, I see Steve's saying of there are three sides to every story. And there's multiple different sides to what you're looking to approach. But in a lot of cases, there's a child or several children involved. And the child didn't cause this. The child is not responsible for the situation, but they're suffering horrific trauma. And I want to thank everyone for all your work on that. Thank you.
I'll just say that there's one thing that Center County does really well, and that is collaborate. And whether it's from inside government or to our partners outside in the community, I think it goes without saying that what you're doing is important work. But it demonstrates once again how when there is an issue, we get together and we work to solve it. And the resolve, Don, I think you've been active in this conversation for longer than we probably want to admit. But
I was 12 when I started.
yes, there you go. And the rest of the folks behind you have an equal dedication. And I think whether it's law enforcement or human services, we're here to solve this problem and make our community better. And as difficult as it is, and as difficult as Mark indicated, a discussion that we need to have those conversations, and we need to figure out better ways to deal with the issues that seem to plague our community. And hopefully we can get to the point where nobody.
A little more.
Okay, thank you very
you all
much.
very much.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm seeing you. Take good care.
Good
Good luck
you
with
since you were
basketball.
12. Hey, when I'm 6'7", I'm gonna be ready.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We have, for our next item, Sheriff Brian Samsel, Director of Criminal Justice Planning, Carrie Hall, and also Lieutenant Walk from the Sheriff's Office. So good morning to all three of you. We're going to talk about a grant today. Turn it
Yes.
over to you.
Thank you. Here before the board today to consider approval for a grant submission to the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for the Local Law Enforcement Grant Program on behalf of the Center County Sheriff's Department. So PCC has put out a large funding announcement in excess of $135 million available to local municipal police agencies and other law enforcement agencies, primarily to fund equipment and advanced technology is what they're looking for. Lieutenant Walk contacted me about putting together an application on behalf of the Sheriff's Department. So primarily, we're looking at, and I'll let the folks who know more about it talk about it, but radios, body-worn cameras.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we're looking at upgrading our radios. They're about 12 to 15 years old, most of our radios now. We'd like your radios for every one of our personnel, so now they share. So we're looking for additional, get rid of these radios, 31 radios, 3 additional body cameras. I would probably have one, too. We'd have enough for each building then. I'm anticipating also thinking ahead to the Centercrest building, so we have 1 body camera over there as well. We're looking at in-car cameras. And also in-car cameras and printers for in the cars to do like for digging possession of firearms from PFAs, service of PFAs, things of that nature. And also, we're looking into a drone. We're the only agency who has countywide jurisdiction besides state police, so we'd be available to help other people with the drone if we need a rescue, or with fire department have a search and rescue, something. I'm not getting a search and rescue business. I'm just saying if we'd offer a drone for the services. Also, when we do warrants and stuff like that and high-risk PFAs, it'd be an asset to us. And most of this grant comes with additional money for the training of it. And I think if some might come from the county, but most of it would be covered through the grant funded things. So I would like to do 2 drone pilots, so to speak. And then we have one if one's off or something, we'd have 2 of it, one other one available. So that's our plan. Did I miss anything, Mark?
I think you got it all.
Okay, and, so I think there's a lot of money here for all the agencies in the county. I think it's 10 million for Center County, this small chunk of it. It's a large chunk, but it's a small chunk, so we appreciate your endorsement.
Sure, absolutely. And in terms, thank you, Sheriff, Lieutenant, and Carrie on this. Just one question. In terms of the application or the grant pot of money, so to speak, is this the first year they're offering this, or has this been something that's been?
This is new. This is a
Okay.
new, and it's connected with Act 54 of 2022. One of the requirements is that they will prioritize funding to areas of high crime rates, violent crime rates, and low clearance rates. So that may not work in our favor because Center County is overall a pretty safe community. But we are going to put in a strong application and hope that will be considered for funding. The technology for these police departments is so necessary. You know, radios are their lifeline, and it's really important for them to have that equipment, and it is very costly. So if we can get grant funds to offset that, we'll certainly do that. The grant would be a 2-year grant and would begin January of 2023 and run to December 31st of 2024. It is due next week, October 13th. So in true fashion, they give us like a month to do it, so.
It was short of a month. I don't know, we've been working on it for probably 2 weeks now, so, I'm just trying to get everything in. It's a wish list for us.
Sure.
Radios, I have prioritized things in my head if we have to cut something, that I would rather cut some things, so, radio's probably the most important thing, and the body cameras, going down that order, so, but that's what we're hoping for.
Sounds good. Any other questions or comments?
No, it's a great program.
Absolutely. Okay. We'll look for a motion then to approve the grant.
Motion to approve the grant application for the local law enforcement program.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. We wish you the best of luck. Any other support that we can give to this, let us know. But we look forward to hearing back positive news. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion is carried. Thank you all again. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, we're going to welcome up Ray at this time to talk about a notice to proceed. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Commissioners. This morning, here to ask for your consideration for the issuance of a notice to proceed for the Eads Group out of Altoona. They will be performing our construction inspection services on Part 1 of the bridge bundle. Their contract and agreement is a total of $132,665.10. This period for the construction inspection services would include March 2023 to November of 2023. And then March 2024 to May 2024 with a completion date of May 31st for that first part.
Thank you so much, Ray. We know that we have done bid awarding and contract negotiations, and so again, this is just another part of that process to set us up for success as we come into 2023. So appreciate the update on this. Any questions or comments? Look, very straightforward, but anything? Okay.
Glad to see we're moving forward.
Okay, sounds good. We'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve the notice to proceed with Eads Group, Inc.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion is carried. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Ray. Thank you. All right, welcome up Norm to discuss the contract. Good morning, Norm.
Good morning. Request the board consider approving a contract for professional services with MCP, Mission Critical Partners, to provide capital asset inventory of the 911 capital assets in the Willow Bank Building and the 911 tower sites. Many of our assets are purchased at the same time period in 2012. Buildings were purchased used, and some will need an upgrade or replacement soon. And unfortunately, most of our assets are very expensive, so we're looking at a better way to manage these costs. In conversations with Administrator Franek, we decided to take a look at doing a capital asset inventory to allow better budgeting over time on these large expenses. MCP will review the capital assets and determine the remaining life expectancy of the assets and work with us to develop a long-term capital asset plan for our department. The contract is $20,000 and will be covered with our 2022 budget funds.
Thank you so much, Norm. A very important part of being proactive in 911, especially, as you know, is making sure that we know where stuff is and also the reliability of it, and we need that to be premier. So this is a great positive step, and whatever we find, it is what it is. 911 is critical service, so this will help us get ahead of the game as things are reaching end of life. And we'll find ways to push that down the road if possible. So thanks for bringing this to us. Any other questions or comments for Norm?
Things wear out, we need to replace them.
Absolutely. We will look for a motion.
Motion to add the contract with Mission Critical Partners to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 The motion is carried. Thank you, Norm.
Thank you.
Okay, moving into Human Services. Quentin, we'll welcome you up. Good morning.
Hi. Aging is asking for consideration on a contract with Caregivers of America to provide medication management services for older adults in Center County. This will allow an LPN to come into the home and set up medications for an older adult. This will help the older adults stay compliant with taking medications as prescribed, with the goal of improving health and individual maintaining them in the home. So this goes along with how I've talked about before, how we want to try to keep people in their homes, seniors in their homes. We have the rentals for the pill dispensers available now. Now this is going to allow for a nurse to come in and fill the pill dispensers, hopefully keeping our older adults in their homes longer and keeping them safer. The total for the contract is $36,750, and it's from a period of October 1st. 22 to June 30th, 2024.
Thank you, Quentin. In terms of how many individuals, older adults here in Center County, will this be able to assist or help, or up to how many?
We're projecting anywhere from 15 to 20 for the year, and then just see where it grows at that point.
Oh, great. Okay, fantastic. Any other questions or comments for Quentin?
Sounds like a good idea that this amount of money is a tiny fraction of what it would cost to have one person move into a nursing home for a year. So this sounds great.
All right, we'll look for a motion then.
Motion to add the contract with Caregivers of America to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. The motion has carried. Thanks, Quentin.
Thank you.
Okay, Julia, we'll welcome you up for several items.
Good morning.
Good morning.
The first item I have is I'm asking you to consider to approve the Act 148 report for fiscal year 21-22 for the period of July 1st, 21-22 to June 30th, 2022. Our allocation was underspent by $170,605. So this is just us. When it was all said and done, this is how much we were under our allocation. So that's where we're coming in on for the year. The second thing do you want me to go through all of my things, or? Okay. So the second thing I have is just approval to do a budget amendment, and that was basically to move some money around, no budget impact, from community residential to cover the costs of a youth in YDC. Then contracts 3 through 13, if it's all right with you, if I could combine them, because they're all for different foster care placement for dependent and delinquent youth. So the 10 contracts, the contract total for all of them is $886,840. The state share is $650,472, and the county share is $236,368, and that's for 3 through 13. So then that brings me to the Youth Service Bureau. So this is a contract with the Youth Service Bureau for multiple things, to provide placement services for dependent delinquent youth, but it's also to provide their in-service array. So that's for reunification, Parenting Plus, Safe Care, Parents as Teachers, the ART program, Declutter, Jump, and Family Group Decision Making. The total contract amount is $1,870,032. And then the county's match for that is $319,000 and $44. Boy, these are not easy numbers for me today.
It's okay.
My goodness. And then the next one is for our other major in-home service provider, which is Wardell and Associates, and their contract total is $3,047,165, and the county share for that is $548,249. And last but not least is our contract with the Public Defender's Office to provide guardian ad litem services, and that is, the contract total is for $200,237, and the county matches $100,118.
Thank you, Julia. Any questions on any of the CYS items?
I think it's important to note that, the conversation we started our meeting off with in regard to the issues that are going on with children today. If you see the numbers here, and you're talking about, $3 million at a clip, there's a lot to be said about figuring out a way for people to be better parents, to be better community members, and to be a heck of a lot more civil, because a lot of these issues revolve around those very issues that we discussed at the beginning of our meeting. And it's an incredible expense to society and to our community, not only in money, but also in tears that these represent. And I just want to bring that up because it's, it's big money. I mean, it's millions and millions of dollars.
Absolutely. And as we get in the next set of items with drug and alcohol and behavioral health issues, it
Same discussion.
dovetails right in there, and the intersection of those and how they relate, so absolutely. But no, very timely, so appreciate that perspective, Commissioner. Thank you. Any other comments, questions? Okay. All right, we will then look for a motion.
Motion to add the Children and Youth Services, items 1 to 16, to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
Okay. Been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. The motion is carried. Thank you very much, Julia. Thank you. Okay, we're going to welcome up Kathy at this time. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning. We have a number of agenda items for the commissioners today. Some of them are addenda for last fiscal year. Some of them are new contracts, some of them are renewal contracts, and they cross all 4 of our program areas. So we'll just jump in. The first 3 items are addenda for last fiscal year for the period July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. The first is an addenda with Eagle View Personal Care Home for additional mental health community residential services. The addenda is for $55,720. This increases their contract to $592,720, and of that, the county match is $27,324. The second is with the ARC of Center County. This provides additional supported employment services and accounts for a rate adjustment. This increases their contract to $54,000, and of that, the county match is $2,489. And the third addenda is with Strawberry Fields for additional mental health community residential services. This is in the amount of $80,483, and the county portion of that is $58,550. We then have a standard contract renewal with Skills Incorporated for mental health services as well as intellectual disability services. Their contract total is $236,606, and the county portion of that is $10,908 for the coming year, the current year, July 1st, 2022 through June 30th of 2023. The next is a letter of agreement with Center for Community Resources. This is a new contract in intellectual disabilities and gives us the opportunity to provide a choice for supports coordination in intellectual disabilities. This contract total is $5,000, and the county match portion of that is $230 for the time period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. The remaining contracts are drug and alcohol contracts and are contract renewals for the time period July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. The first is an outpatient contract with Crossroads Counseling for drug and alcohol outpatient, intensive outpatient recovery support, intervention, and medication-assisted treatment. That contract total is $188,262, and the county portion of that is $10,748. The next contract is with Allegiance Rehabilitation Center, which is a small rehabilitation program in Cambria County. They do detox as well as residential and MAT. We estimate that contract at about $5,000. The final contract is a contract renewal with Colleen Heim, who has been working with our office for many years, providing consultation services, training, and presentations, particularly around student assistance and other work-related work that we do. That contract is estimated at $2,500, and the county match for her time will be $115.
Kathy, thank you so much. Any questions or comments on any of these items? All right. We will look for a motion to add them to next week's consent agenda.
Motion to add the mental health, intellectual disability, drug and alcohol items 1 through 9 to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. The motion is carried. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
And I should say, I'm sorry, the letter of support, are you also going to cover that? I apologize. Okay, is that okay? I'm so sorry. Thank you.
We were approached by the Center County Youth Service Bureau, who requested a letter of support to submit a grant application through the Violence Intervention and Prevention Grant. This is a grant that's being offered through the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency. And this grant application will support children and their families who have experienced trauma or are at risk of experiencing trauma through mentoring and other intervention programming. The Youth Service Bureau has done a lot of this type of programming throughout the years, and they are looking to apply for grant funds to continue offering those programs. Examples of those programs would include Too Good for Violence, Strengthening Families, and some other evidence-based programs that they have offered. They offer those programs in their youth centers, their street outreach programs, and they are also willing to go to any of the school districts here in Center County and offer those curricula in the classrooms if the school districts are interested. And this grant funding will support the staff and the materials to make those happen. And so they're looking for a letter of support to go with their grant application.
Absolutely fantastic. That sounds like a great programming. Any questions or comments on the letter of support? Okay, we will look for a motion.
Motion to approve the letter of support.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. The motion is carried. Okay, thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
All right, to Commissioner Higgins for our check run.
Sure, we have a check run of $493,804.11. That's about a third or so of the normal check run, quite small. But I was able to find an organization that we work with that was also, Kathy mentioned a minute ago, the Eagle Valley Personal Care Home. Couple of checks totaling $65,803.20. We'd not only like to thank Eagle Valley, we'd like to thank all of the many county human services organizations that we work with. We've had a number here today for the proclamations, and then we've gone through well over a dozen contracts. The county couldn't do what we do without all of these assistance from the outside agencies, and we're very much appreciative of their help. So we'd like to make a motion to approve the check run dated September 30th.
I will second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the check run. Any final discussion on the check run? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Motion is carried. Okay. John, anything to report today before we get into the CNET request?
Just a brief note that the architect for the Centercrest project was on site last week to meet with the identified departments that are proposed to be moved there. And we talked about individual department needs and layouts and things of that nature. There will be a follow-up meeting tomorrow as well to meet with a couple more departments. So the design process is underway.
Fantastic. Okay, great to hear. Thank you, John. And then we'll turn it over to you for that CNET request.
Before you is a request for sponsorship of the live stream coverage of the 2022 general election vote by mail processing room, which is usually held at the Penn Stater Hotel and Conference Center.
We've been doing this since the general of 2022, so it would be the fifth time we're doing this. So CNET's been a great partner with this and gives individuals who can't make it out as poll watchers or as watchers within that room the ability to see the processing and
Live coverage.
Yeah, the live coverage. So so we'll look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the CNET sponsorship for the 2020 general election vote by mail processing room.
It's been moved and seconded. Any final discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. The motion is carried. Thank you, John. Okay. And then to Commissioner Dershowitz for voter registration.
As of this morning, we have 106,087 registered voters in Center County. That's up 251 from last report. And the highlight reel indicates that we have 44,573 Democratic registrants, 142 Green Party, 663 Libertarian, 14,461 no affiliation, and 42,459 Republicans. And if you add the 3,789 smaller party registrants in there, that's why you get the 106,087. I would like to feature the People's Working Party of the U.S. Party. People's Working Party of the U.S. Party. I have one registered voter in Center County, and I'd like to recognize that voter. And I would also like to recognize precinct number 78, which is Spring North, which votes at the Spring Township Building. And in the last election, there were total registration of 1,299. There were 566 ballots cast, which led to a voter percentage turnout of 43.57. And again, thank you to the folks that make it happen and all the folks in the Spring Township government that let us use their facility. So, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. Any other announcements we have today, John? None?
No other.
Okay. All right. Any executive sessions to report or hold?
Executive sessions to report or hold.
Okay. Thank you. All right. At this time, we will look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn at 10:33.
Any final discussion on adjourning? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you all very much.